Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Bekka and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Bekka's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a little tug and release on the training collar. And both dogs are coming home with the same training equipment, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly tomorrow when Rich does your follow-up training session. Now Bekka is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to be demonstrating for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Bekka heel. Now at this point, Bekka has a job to do, and that is to stay right next to you when you're walking with her. She shouldn't be dragging you down the street. You should be walking her and not her walking you. And each time that you stop your feet, whether it's to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she should be sitting quietly at your left and waiting for her next command. And if you notice, when Rich turns, she turns. She should be paying close enough attention to you that if you turn, change direction, or stop, that she's aware of it and she reacts appropriately. Nice automatic sit. And this is kind of basic dog training, is your heel. That's very important so that you have control of the dogs when you're walking with them. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word firm command to stay. Now your long sit stay, you can practice indoors as well as outdoors. Practice it at all your entrances and exits of your house. That is a self-control exercise, and you're going to work it up to 3 minutes. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, and she should remain seated until he gets all the way back to where they started. And as you can see, everything starts and stops at that heel position, and they take off heeling again. You can see her tail is up and wagging. She's enjoying working with Rich. They enjoy that one-on-one attention. German Shepherds are working dogs, so if you don't work with them, then they get themselves in trouble, like your two are. Packing up and acting silly, and, you know, and eventually acting aggressive. So we want to exercise what's between their ears. Now Rich will leave her again in another sit stay. He backs up all the way to the end of his 6-foot leash. He turns to face her, makes eye contact with her, and instead of returning back to her this time, he's going to demonstrate the come on command. The command is Bekka come, and she should come right in front and sit facing your knees. No jumping on you, no acting crazy, and then back to heel and back sitting. So you want to give these guys time apart, because what's happening is they're becoming a pack. You have an adolescent male and an adult female, and they're becoming a pack. So you can put one in the crate and pay attention to the other one. They don't always have to be together. Stay. Rich leaves her in another sit stay, and he will demonstrate that come on command again. He lets her hold that sit stay for a minute. And you're going to see that when you're practicing in obedience, you're wearing them out. You're tiring them. They're having to think. And then he'll call her in and have her sit right in front and then go back to heel position. So again, everything starts and stops at that heel position. She's a very good girl. She's very mature in her thinking. She can focus for a long period of time because of her age, and she tires quickly because of her age. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate is your down from a heel position. So with your dog seated at your left, You take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Now your long down stay when you're practicing at home is going to be for 3 to 5 minutes. And Rich is going to teach you how to use all of these commands in your everyday living situations. Lengthen these commands out because they help to develop self-control. When Rich returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, just as he did on the sit-stay, returning all the way back around again to where they started, and she holds that down until he gives another command. He told her to heel. She got right up and started heeling with him. So put your video on at least once a day, practice with the video, and then use your commands in your everyday living situations. So having, each of you take a dog, do the down stay, put your leashes on, practice right in the house. You don't have to go outside, and it doesn't have to be a huge event. It can be as short as this video. Now this time Rich will call her out of that down stay. She comes right in and sits, and then she goes back to heel and back sitting. Good girl. Now the very last exercise that we're going to demonstrate with Bekka is the down from a distance. So always have your dog seated before you attempt to put them into a down. Rich is going to leave her in a sit-stay. He's going to turn to face her. This is the only time that you will use your right hand to give the command. And he dropped her into a down from a distance. So considering that Bekka is a 7-year-old dog, she has done a fabulous job. Even if she wasn't a 7-year-old dog, she's done a fabulous job. We're very proud of her. We've enjoyed every minute of her being here. She's a very, very sweet girl. And we'll be back with your boy to show you what he has learned.